it's difficult when you go 4-0 behind in any game. So I've always been someone that, especially over the past couple of years, has sort of been able to find some belief from somewhere. Even though I was struggling with the conditions, I just tried to battle away, get it back to 4-2, and then find some confidence, and that's what happened. So the belief come back at 4-2, and didn't really make any mistakes during the last 3 frames, didn't really give him any chances. So I was very pleased in the manner I was able to see off the match as well. I mean, yeah, it's been a great start to the season, and I think the hunger is definitely still there. I think especially when you're doing well, so many tournaments coming thick and fast, big prize money of China and around the world, talk of tournaments in other places as well. So probably more excited now to be a snooker player than I ever have been. I think while I'm kind of in probably the prime of my career, you just want to win as much as possible, and there's no better feeling than going home knowing that you haven't lost. So I think for me, the more I play, the more hungry I get. Next match against Judd, it's always tough playing him. I think from the age of maybe 10 or 11, we've had so many close games in the juniors. I've probably managed just to kick on just a little bit more than he has, and obviously his draws in finals have been very, very difficult. I think if he was able to win one of them, he would have definitely kicked on by now. But I think, yeah, for me, friendship goes out the window. I'm very good at putting that to one side, but I know how dangerous he can be on his days, so I always know how important it is to get off to a good start against him and not let him get confident.
Really captivating head-to-head this one. Judd Trump, Jack Lisowski, best friends, as we said there. Will it change anything when they actually play? Judd said it goes out the window. What will we expect to happen in this match?
Well, I suppose you tend to expect fireworks, don't you, with the two players as good as these two. You know, the standard is so good nowadays, but Jack Lisowski, there's no doubt that there's the ability there to go on and lift a big one. And I just wonder, because they are such good friends off the table, maybe Jack doesn't have that fear of Judd Trump that a lot of the other professionals maybe would have. He maybe feels relaxed playing him. It could bring out the best of him. You know, Judd's obviously come through an unbelievable match yesterday, and where he's found that from, he's going to have a lot of confidence. He's the world #1 for a reason. It's going to be a great match.
It really is. Two of the most naturally talented players on planet Earth. But Ken, just very quickly, for Judd, he's the world #1. He's got that signed, sealed, delivered, top 16. Jack would love to be inside that, so maybe a little bit of something in the back of the mind.
Yeah, it's a big match for him, you know, and to continue a run and try and, you know, get back into that top 16. There's a lot of prize money at stake. It's a big match for both players, big tournament. I'm really looking forward to it. Two of the greatest players, you know, and just to watch them, the way they go about making breaks as well. It's going to be a fascinating encounter because of their friendship off the table as well.
Well said. Well, to the side of the camera, we have 8 players ready and raring to go. So it's time to hand down to Tajir Hajat.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the last 16 of the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters. Only 7 of the top 16 were able to overcome their opponents and make it through to today's order of play. In the midst of the tournament, the battle for world #1 roars on between Judd Trump, Ronnie O'Sullivan and the world champion Kyron Wilson. An exciting subplot to keep your eyes on. Well now, best of 11s and time to welcome the players. Up first, on table number 4, please welcome Scott Donaldson and Zhao Guodong. On table number 3, please welcome the Thunder from Down Under, Neil Robinson and Gary Wilson. On table number 2, Elliot Slesser versus the Magician, Sean Murphy. And here on the TV table, 2 players who last met at the last 16 of the 2023 Shanghai Masters. It's time to welcome them in. Up first, let's hear it for Jackpot Jack Lisowski. And his opponent is the ace in the pack, Judd Trump.
What a superb afternoon of snooker we have in store. Jack versus Judd. So let's hand to our commentary team of Ken Doherty. But first, Mr. Alliteration, Phil Yates.
Well, they came into a song that said Children of the Sky, and one of them will be on Cloud 9 at the end of this.
Okay. Thank you, I like it, Phil. Lisowski to break.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. Really looking forward to this match. Judd Trump, well, he used his get out of jail card yesterday. What a comeback from 4-0 down. How much of a boost and confidence that's going to give him.
Trump leads 11-5 in total career meetings between these two, and he's had much the better of their recent encounters. And that was a encouraging start. Tough pot. In fact, Lisowski hasn't beaten Trump since the quarter-final of the International Championship 6 years ago.
Well, he might have gone too far here for this red. He was playing on the red, the extreme right, into this bottom right corner pocket. He may have gone too far. There you see it. I don't think he has enough of that red, is he? He'd be so disappointed because it was a huge margin for error anywhere between blue and pink there. Having to bend it slightly, it's risky. This is missable. Yeah, it's okay. Just about enough.
Nine.
Trump's comeback yesterday wasn't one of those old-fashioned grinds where he does things in small increments. He absolutely dominated the second half of the match. And I thought the decider he played was magical. He potted 4 reds from distance so smoothly. And here, picking up where he left off. Really good early chance.
$25. $26.
There's a brand new bonus been instituted this season. If you make 100 centuries in professional competition on the tour, you get £100,000 bonus. The first player to do that will cash in, and I think You have to say Trump's the favourite because he makes so many big breaks and also because he plays such a heavy schedule.
Name.
Oh, he's played that really well. Judged a nice little cannon off the pack. Hole for the black. Can he just negotiate the cue ball through the gap of those two reds? No. Got a little kiss, but that's okay.
47.
I'm quite sure whether there's another loose red available in the middle of that pack. Maybe into the left centre. But if not, well, he's got to try and develop some reds. Let's see. Yeah, maybe the top red, just below the pink, is available into the centre pocket.
55. $56.
Well, that hasn't worked out. I was hoping to nudge at least one red into a potable position. Quick glance at the score. 62 ahead, still 75 remaining. But just a safety shot. So there's still a little bit of hope. Well, he could play this possible plant and still bring the cue ball back to the bulk area. Oh, great shot. He still needs one high value colour. The brown would put him 67 ahead, of course, with 67 remaining. Does he risk it? Take it on? Natural angle of the cue ball back towards the reds. Yeah, right in the middle of the pocket. Ran the cue ball a little bit farther than he would have liked. But sort of in a relatively safe zone, a 67 ahead with just 67 remaining.
This, Ken, is the kind of start you dream of.
Yeah, and it hasn't been straightforward. He's had to come out with some really good pots to keep the break going. There's another one.
71.
Now, can he find one more red up into the top left-hand corner pocket? Looks pretty good. Great shot.
$77.
When he won his first tournament of the season, the Shanghai Masters,
78.
Trump made just the 10 centuries on the way to capturing that title. He's a century machine.
55.
And if he goes deep into this tournament, gets to the final and plays well, that milestone of 1,000 centuries within his grasp. This could be number 994.
Incredible return, isn't it? What a start. I mean, he's pulled off some great pots. And what a start to the match if you could finish the lot, keep his opponent in the chair, have a nice total clearance.
99.
Well played, Judd Trump. Excellent start to this hotly anticipated last 16 match.
104. 108.
I was about to say, Ken, Lisowski now knows exactly what he's up against, but I think he does already.
$113.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is how to clear a table. Judd Trump starting how he finished yesterday, brilliantly. That was emphatic with a capital E.
Not the best break-off from Judd Trump, so possible red here for Jack Lisowski. Very good. Good start. Now, can it be a case of whatever you can do, you can do better? Jack has to really start on the front foot, given these chances like this. Can't expect someone of Trump's ilk to miss easy balls. You've got to try and carve out your own opportunities. Now's a good one. He's got to let him know, hasn't he, Phil, that he's there in a match. You know, he's gonna try and give as much as he gets. Like, just send out a signal to his opponent. You know, I think that's very, very important, even at this early stage.
Yes, and he's beaten Trump in big tournaments, ranking events before. The International Championship of 2018 I've already talked about. Also, English Open 2017, China Open 2013.
12.
Yeah, hoping for a nice angle on the blue, and he's got one. He could play for the loose red, just left of the pink there, or he could try and, well, manoeuvre that cue ball maybe through the pack and try and develop some reds into the open. Now, you always need a little bit of luck. And he got luck all right, but it's all bad.
17.
That was unfortunate, because he's hit that pink pretty well. Yeah, had to hit the pink almost full ball and did, but look where the cue ball stayed. It's unfortunate there.
It was okay, 17.
I know he gets absolutely sick of this. Lisowski has to be regarded as the best player yet to win a world ranking event. Just get that out of the way early. And one of the main reasons he hasn't won one is Judd Trump. Trump's beaten him in 3 finals. World Grand Prix 2020, German Masters and Gibraltar Open 2021. Of course, he should win one, Ken, with his talent. He really should win one, but there are no guarantees.
No, of course not. No, but I always feel if you're knocking on the door, you're putting yourself into positions that it will come eventually. He's just so talented not for him to at least deserve one. And maybe if he had got one under his belt a lot earlier, one of those 6 finals that he did lose, Phil, he might have had a couple already in the bag. He's such a talented player.
Yeah, the opposition in all of his ranking final appearances have been mighty.
Yeah, and I suppose he can count himself a little bit unlucky in that regard as well when he's come up against really tough opposition in finals. Some of the best players that I've ever played. So, but you've got to still have that belief. I think that's very important for Jack Lisowski.
Well, of course, when you won the World Championship in '97, you did it the hardest possible way, beating the king of the '90s, Stephen Hendry, in the final.
And we let him remember that as much as we can, Phil, eh?
Less of the we, you.
Oh, this could be a mistake from Judd Trump. He doesn't make too many safety errors, but that's one. Now, Jack Lisowski, got to capitalise here. He's just got this red too thick, and the second red came up over this right middle. Got to just, when he pots this red, he's just got to avoid the red. Just directly just down from it. Just got to avoid cannon into that and try and get out for blue or pink here.
Why?
That was the red he wanted to avoid, but actually might work okay. He's on the black. He wasn't playing for that, but this is a tricky black. Nicely dispatched. Now, does this red pass the black? It's important that it does. It certainly does. So, what a chance.
No.
He's certainly been trending in the right direction in this tournament. This is 4th match. Found the gap he did not want to find.
16.
Yeah, he was trying to get a fuller contact on that red, just to hold the cue ball. But that's not a plant. But and if he plays this, he has to make it, because reds will go everywhere. He's not guaranteed to be on a colour. Dangerous shot, this. No, well played. Just over on the cue ball, though. So good pot, but he's not going to make anything from it. It's just a safety shot now.
Lisowski 17.
Lisowski started off looking very vulnerable. He only just beat Andrew Paget 4-3 on the late colours in the last 80, but then superb against Martin O'Donnell in the next round, having 2 centuries and 2 90s in a 5-2 win. And then yesterday he overcame this year's World Championship runner-up Jack Jones 5-3. This, though, obviously his toughest test.
Well, he felt he had to take that red on. It was risky. He's got away with it, though. Could have easily left this red into the left corner. Ooh, so close. Can he see the red through yellow and brown? May have got the cover with the brown.
That was the telltale sign of when a ball is really close and a player stays down on the shot because he's not quite sure. That was a no-doubter, though. Both players looking sharp.
Yeah, good putt, because he knew he was always going to leave that red over the green pocket, so there was pressure on it. As indeed, there's a little bit of pressure on this black as well. It's got to go in. Yeah, well played. Oh, well, I say well played. How unlucky is that? He's knocked the red and covered the red. Okay, he'll be able to come off the side cushion and knock the red in, but he's got to be careful now with the path of the cue ball that he doesn't run into a ball colour. No. He's played it well. Good shot.
I can tell you Neil Robertson has taken the first frame from Gary Wilson. Same for Scott Donaldson over Zhao Guodong. And what a start from the magician Sean Murphy. Casting his spell on Elliot Slesser, leading 2-0.
Yeah, quick glance at the score from Jack Lisowski. Still got a bit of work to do before he gets to that winning line in this frame.
In 19.
May play this red just below the pink spot. Back up for blue.
20.
And if you can win this frame and this visit, it'll certainly settle him down. Particularly after the way Judd Trump has started off this match in first frame with a nice century break. Good response this so far.
$26.
Yeah, that was the important ball, even though, of course, the red left Judd needing snookers, but that will stop Judd coming back. And I'd like to keep Judd in his seat and try and maybe clear up the table here. Oh, well, I say that. An easy miss black.
Yes, but the mistake came too late to save Trump in the second frame. If the first two are any indication of what's ahead, we are in for a treat. All square here in Riyadh. Welcome back to the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters.
Thank you, the top frame. Lisowski to break.
We started off with best of 7 frame matches. Then we had a couple of days of best of 9s Now it's a race to 6 for a place in the quarterfinals.
Quite unusual. It's quite a long way out for Judd Trump there. No damage done. I know a possible plan, but first priority is get that cue ball back into the bulk area. Yeah, speculative plan from Lisowski, but he got so close so he's left this red. But it's very difficult to get on a colour from this. That's about as well as he could have done. He's on the blue, and that... You see the two reds and just left of the black. The bottom red, I think, pots into this bottom right corner pocket. They can get the cue ball down towards those two reds. Might be able to pot that red and get on the black. That's what he's playing for. Needs a bounce off this top cushion. He hasn't got it.
Good, front 6.
The red close to the middle pocket. But the brown working in Trump's favour.
And we could have a bit of a stalemate here. They might ask for a re-rack. The fact that that red has gone over that left middle. Unless Judd Trump can get the cue ball down towards the yellow pocket. It is a touching ball, so he could try and play it off one or two cushions, get it down towards the yellow pocket, sort of force his opponent into taking that red on. But now he's going to try and use the brown again as cover.
Now there is an absolute legend. From the great state of Texas, former US Open pool champion Jeremy Jones. He loves his snooker. Don't think he's played a great amount, but he came to the Crucible last year and thoroughly enjoyed himself. In recent years, of course, best known as the US Mosconi Cup captain.
Yeah. Yeah, Riyadh. Yeah, we thought that might happen. Yeah, in fact, you know, the 10-year snooker deal that they've signed here in Riyadh, they've also signed a 10-year pool deal as well.
That's right. We had the first World 9-Ball Championship in Saudi Arabia back in June in Jeddah on the coast. It was a great event, and Fedor Gorst ended up as the champion. Now, I'll tell you someone who could end up as champion here, Sean Murphy. He's one of those players, when he gets full of confidence, he can be absolutely brilliant. He can lose to anyone and have a really bad time of it for a couple of months, and then all of a sudden play like a world beater. He's doing that so far today. He's made a couple of sizable breaks to lead Elliot Slesser 2-0.
Yeah, he's been playing well. Played well in his first match, didn't he? Looks like he's got that bit of confidence back. Oh, he's great to watch, isn't he? He hits the ball. So sweet. Lovely cue action.
Well, early next year, he's got some major points to come off his ranking, because in 2023, he brilliantly completed the Players and Tour Championship double. And when those points come off, without something to replace them, he could be out of the top 16. So a good run here would suit him down to the ground.
Yeah, of course, that run to the Shanghai Masters final is no good as from a ranking perspective, of course, because it's an invitational event. So the prize money earned there doesn't go towards his ranking.
One.
Well, just got to try and knock this blue in. See, can he hold a cue ball maybe for that loose red? There's one at the bottom of the pack to the left. Yeah, good pot. And he's on the red. Well played. And that'll do his confidence no end.
6.
Always nice to knock those type of shots in, particularly when you're leaving
7.
balls as well. So there's pressure on it. He's got a lovely angle on the black now. So straight into that red, just above the black, directly above the black. If he can hit that sort of almost full ball, still should be on this loose red. Didn't catch a full ball, did he? Just glanced off the right-hand side of it. Lost the cue ball. Still got a possible pot on. Well, he was looking at the possibility of a double there, but risky. Yeah, he's looking at it. This double is on. He's trying to work out where he can leave the cue ball. If he does miss, what is he going to leave? So watch the right hand middle pocket. Watch the red. It looks pretty good. Oh, well worked out. Very, very good shot. You can look at the position of the cue ball. I mean, if he had missed, the only red he probably could have left was the red he was playing.
18. $19.
Both of these players approach the game in such an attractive manner. I do think it would be dangerous for Trump to get involved in a pure potting battle, because I think he's got more tactical savvy and he needs to use it. And the way Lisowski's playing, it looks as though he's really up for this.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
24.
Lisowski looks very focused, very determined. And he looks calm, which is the most important thing. Looks comfortable.
I think Stephen Hallworth made a good point when he was with you in the studio, Ken, saying that because they're such good friends, Lisowski might feel more comfortable against Trump than maybe anyone.
42.
Oh, that was unlucky. It's a lovely pot. Just wanted a full ball kiss on that red that he's so close to hold for the black, but missed it. Now, I like what he's doing here. He's taking a bit more time. We saw in the first match against Paget, he wasn't really putting any due care and attention into his safety shot. Judd Trump is a different proposition. I like the way he's come down the table there. Just take a couple of moments. Obviously disappointed with the position of the cue ball. He's not able to continue his break, but take your medicine and play a good safety shot. And that's what he's done. Didn't get the cue ball behind the black and tight to this top cushion. He's left a possible pot for Judd Trump here into the left centre. It's risky. But if he gets it, it'll be on the blue and a chance. Ah, what a shot. What a wonderful pot that is from Judd Trump. Played it so confidently. He didn't even play for the blue. He's played for the green there. He said it with such pace.
It constantly amazes me, the modern players, how good they are to the middle pockets, because they are so tight.
Five.
Yeah, tightest pockets on the table. And that's the difference, you know, with Lisowski. Not getting the cue ball behind the black there off a relatively straightforward safety shot. That's where you have to really concentrate, particularly against these best players in the world. They're so accurate in the potting that you leave a half chance, well, it could cost you the frame. And it may well cost Jack Lisowski here.
$19. $20. 25.
The cruel reality of snooker at this level is that you have to concentrate fully for a very lengthy period of time.
26.
Any kind of let-up can be so expensive, as we're witnessing now.
$31. $32.
Oh, beautiful. For all his power that he has. And that cue of his and his cue action, he has a wonderful deft touch, and that was shown quite evident in that last shot he just played. Beautiful little cannon on the red just to knock it into play.
By reaching the final of the Xi'an Grand Prix, Trump went back to world number 1.
45.
It's his 5th spell there, and I know it's something he's very proud of. He wants to be world number 1 for as long as possible. And of course, if he were to do brilliantly in this tournament, go all the way and lift the trophy, then he would be world number 1 for quite some time, guaranteed. So many incentives here.
46.
But of course, Trump could still be caught by Ronnie O'Sullivan or Kyron Wilson and be world number 1 for a fortnight.
Yeah, so many little subplots going on this week, Phil, ranking wise.
53.
This has been a wonderful break.
54.
Yeah, that was the important ball. And it all came from this one shot, Phil. And this is where he's got to be so concentrated on. Get that cue ball right behind the black.
63.
Doesn't go anywhere near that top cushion. It leaves him a red into the left middle. And he's sitting down for the rest of the frame.
66. So Trump 66. I'm free.
66, Judd Trump takes Route 66 into a 2-1 lead. Lisowski failed with his safety and sat down for the remainder. Now that's what Trump wants to make Lisowski do, take on low percentage pots.
One.
Well, he's on this pink into the green pocket. Nicely put away.
Seven.
Over the years, Ken, you and I will have seen plenty of tournaments
8.
where a big name player survives a major first round scare and then goes on to win the whole shebang. It happens so often.
Yeah, it happens so often in not only in our sport, but I think generally in a lot of other sports. It's almost like they've played their get out of jail card, and they're almost like on a free roll. It's amazing how many times it's happened. Yeah. Just think, and it doesn't often happen. You don't often see a player coming back from a 4-0 deficit in a best of 9, particularly on the TV table. But the amount of confidence, Phil, that could give you, you know, that not that he was lacking any confidence, but just he thought he was on his way home. He was checking on Sky Scanner, and then all of a sudden he's back in the tournament, got a great chance, and looks, well, in a lot better sort of form already in this, from the early stages of this match.
From departure lounge to winner's circle. And no one plays that recovery blue in and out of balk better than Judd Trump. Didn't hit that one quite as crisply as he wanted to, but still, to avoid all of those bold colours, he does it time and again.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about his action and the power that he can generate. Such a wonderful asset to have. You mix that with, as I said, the touch that he can show as well when needed to.
20.
Jack hasn't done much wrong. He's just got to sit there and wait for his chance. But after a couple of shots, Trump back in prime position. Got the black open. Got a few reds open. You wouldn't put it past him winning the frame from this position.
25. $26. $36. 43.
By the way, we were talking about the fact that John Higgins could go out to the top 16 here. Well, one thing that would help him greatly, a Trump victory. Because if Lisowski wins this match, he goes above Higgins in the rankings.
39.
On that time, tried to use his touch to knock this red towards his corner pocket. He's just bridging, slightly hampered. No problem.
40.
He did have a good look at the black. Does a pot past his pink? It obviously does. Just refuses to leave the table.
47.
He's at it. Yeah, this could be the key shot. Those two reds that are in a line, they may be a plant, but if not, he's got a lovely angle to go into the pack here. Well, maybe the top one pots into the left corner, so that's okay.
55.
This really is quality stuff from Judd Trump.
And then he makes an error that will really annoy him, because he was only a couple of pots away from putting the frame safe.
Trump, 63.
Yeah, but an excellent return of safety. Using the yellow as the blocking ball. Snookered his opponent on all red, so in deep trouble here, Jack Lisowski. Using all three cushions to get that cue ball behind the yellow. Lovely shot.
And the moment Trump became a serial champion was when he accepted running out of position, bided his time and played a good safety immediately afterwards. You see, Lisowski hasn't got that discipline. That was just a wild slash, and surely it's going to cost him the frame.
Yeah, probably thought that well, he couldn't lay into the reds. He was always going to leave one, so he thought, well, I'll chance his arm, try and hit them as hard as I could, try and fluke one. Balls could have gone anywhere, but unfortunately for Jack Lisowski, he's left a straightforward red here for Judd Trump.
Early in his career, though, Ken, you know as well as I do that Trump, when he ran out of position, he was too impatient. He tried to force the issue. Now, when he realises the error's been made, he just steps away from the table, takes a few extra seconds on the shot, composes himself, and then brings patience into play. And that's why his trophy cabinet is bulging.
Yeah, he made obviously a conscious decision. Well, when he was coming up against the likes of Williams, Ronnie, Higgins, and then Neil Roberts and Mark Selby, and they were sort of getting the better of him in that department, the safety aspect. He knew he had to change something. He couldn't now pot them all, so he had to change his game up a little bit. Put a little bit just more concentration and more attention to detail in the safety department, and it's worked a treat. We saw after he made that 63 break, disappointed with his positional shot, but what did he do? He glued his opponent to the ball cushion, had him snookered, forced an error, and now picking up the pieces. Excellent match play snooker.
23.
He's going to lead 3-0 at the interval, but he's not the quickest player to get there. Sean Murphy with breaks of 93, 111 and 87 leads Elliot Slesser 3-1.
28. 29. 46. 47.
I'll tell you what, he looks very good on this form. Trump will take all the beating, although, as he proved yesterday, intervals so often change matches.
46. 49. 53.
'Loves doing this at the end of frames he's won, just expressing himself, knocking the cue ball around the table with extraordinary skill.
From 58.
That did not matter in the slightest. A very good mini session for Judd Trump. He leads his good pal Jack Lisowski by 3 frames to 1, halfway to victory.
As things stand against his very good friend Jack Lisowski, but this one is also far from over. Ken, you're in commentary for that one.
Yeah.
Just too good.
Yeah, he looks imperious, and we've said it before, we've seen it before over the years. When someone gets out of jail in the match, you know, and particularly coming from 4-0 down on the TV table, it doesn't happen very often. How much of a boost does that give you, and how far can Judd Trump go? You know, he's taking it on. He looks full of confidence. Totally different player to yesterday. Jack Lisowski, just a couple of safety errors, that's all it was. And he's been sitting down, but Judd Trump looks, imperious.
One of the fascinating parts of snooker for me, Steve, is the fact that Judd was stood here 24 hours ago and he basically said, I had to make adjustments, i.e. the table out there were different to the tables in here. This is the guy who can respond and evolve no matter where he is.
Yeah, well, that's what the best players do, isn't it? You know, in any sport, not just snooker, they adapt quickly to what's in front of them. Judd knew that something wasn't quite right. I commentated on that game yesterday, and I could see that he just wasn't quite, you know, at the level. That something was just bugging him. He came into the interval, and he spent a few minutes on the practice table with his brother, just working things out, discussing things over. And myself and Dave yesterday said that we could be looking back at this match, you know, at 4-0 down, weren't seeing him come back, come Saturday, seeing him lift the trophy, potentially, that would have been it.
In terms of years, I'm sure he'd have loved that to in this situation. What can Jack do in response to this? Is it poor Jack, or is it just Judd's been that strong?
I just think Jack has got to be a little bit more concentrated in the safety department, where you cannot give him a half chance. You know, when we saw from Judd Trump there, the difference was he made a 63, he was disappointed with his position. What did he do? He glued him. He made sure he was glued to the ball cushion, wasn't giving Jack a possible go at a pot. The previous frame, Jack gave it to Judd. Judd took it into the middle and made the frame. That's the difference. You have to be on it. When the balls are not against you, you've got to be so concentrated all the time. And that's the difference between the two players.
I wonder as well, with regards to Jack, so he hasn't beaten Judd for 3 matches. It's been a few years since he has done it. Is there a sense of almost muscle memory that when the guy begins to get a lead on you, go, here we go again?
Potentially, yeah, because that does sit in the back of your mind. But I think Ken's right in what he says. It's just having that little bit of discipline in those big moments to take a step back, take your medicine over the fact that you're not going to win the frame, but then make sure you nail your opponent. Keep Judd honest. Make him work for the chances, because at the minute it is just those safety battles that he's coming out second best.
Isn't it remarkable as well? 24 hours ago, he looks like he's out. Yeah. Now you're almost thinking to yourself, is he favourite to lift the trophy?
Well, he has to be. He has to be one of them. He's had a good season so far. He's won one tournament, lost in the final to Karen only in Xi'an last week. Yeah. So, I mean, he looks very relaxed, very composed. And, yeah, as I said, we've seen it loads of times in snooker where a player should have been out, maybe not 4-0 behind, but should have been out, and comes back and goes on a big run. So Jack has to just step it up. He looks like he's playing well himself, Jack. Looks confident. Just got to be a little bit more concentrated.
There's almost two sides of the last sort of half decade. You have the Judd Trump of 2019 that we think, can he ever return to that form? The answer is yes, he's been doing it. He's just a perennial winner. But as for today's action, if the drama's anything like it was 24 hours ago, we could be in for an absolute treat. So let's hand back to our commentary team of Ken Doherty and the Prince of Puns, Phil Yates.
Thank you for 5.
Thanks, Roger. You've rendered me speechless. This isn't a pun, it's a scoreline. Elliot Slesser looks like getting back to only 3-2 behind against Sean Murphy as the main match breaks off for the second half. And Lisowski is well capable of fighting back, but he has to get a grip. I think he needs this particular frame quite badly.
Radzi rendering you speechless, Phil. That would be a first, wouldn't it?
It did only last for 3 seconds.
Yeah, now, what? That's the interval done for Jack Lisowski. Sort of a wry smile on his face. He's not on this red, so he can only just nestle into the pack of reds just below the pink. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, from the evidence of the first 4 frames, he looks like he's queuing pretty well, Jack, and he's confident when he's in the balls. It's just there's only been, a couple of just misplaced shots that have cost him.
Referee Leo Scullion giving Lisowski back his chalk that fell onto the carpet.
Of course, Judd Trump would be well aware if he does go on a run, Jack Lisowski, which he's quite capable of, he can reel off a frame or two very, very quickly indeed. And that's why Judd is just trying to keep his opponent at length when he has to. This time didn't get the desired distance with the cue ball. Has left a possible pot here for Jack Lisowski. Black or pink is on if it goes in. Yeah, what is he left? Anything available into this bottom right corner pocket? The bottom red is available. One that's close to this top cushion, but not straightforward to get out on a colour. Digging down on the cue ball makes the pot a bit more difficult.
The way he played that, the only red he could possibly leave was the one he went for, and he was a little concerned it might run and be left to middle, but the pink is in the way. Can tell you Scott Donaldson and Xiao Dong have arrived at their interval at 2-2.
Well, he went for it. There was pressure on it. Thought it was worth the risk. Pot the red, try to get on the black, but a long, long way away from the pot. And he's left Judd Trump a red into this left corner pocket. He's looking at this red into the right corner, but as you can see, the balls are very, very close together. He's got to be careful. Doesn't push it here. Delicate little shot.
What?
No problem.
Now, Trump doesn't look too disconsolate, so that would suggest he may be. Yes, he has a red through the gap. He was resigned to the fact that by potting the black he would tie it up. But plenty of other colours are available.
No.
And these guys they can make a big break with one high value colour. Two, absolutely fine.
Yeah, he's a little bit fortunate to be on that red through the gap, but now pink may not go in its own spot. It's to go on highest available, which is the green.
15.
Now if you could play the pot here, a little cannon on a red, and hold for the black into the same corner. Yeah, you see the black is open, so delicate little cannon on the red, just to the left of this one.
16.
And when potting this black, well, it could release the black into, well, free up that black spot area for sure. It's a delicate little run through here. You've just gone a little bit too far with the cue ball this time.
23.
This kind of shot is so fiddly. you see it undercut so often. Not by Trump, though. Now, where's this cue ball going? I think he's one shot away, and he has been for a while. He's one shot away from being plumb.
Yeah, he's got a lot of options here, a lot of loose reds available. He gets on one, gets on the black. And another frame could be dispatched very quickly.
Thank you. 27.
I think he's going to play for the black here, just through the gap of the two reds.
Thank you. 20.
The problem red, of course, is the red to the left of the black. If you can get rid of that somehow, then of course that would open up the black into both corner pockets. Now is he on this red just to the left of the black? That's the one he played for.
45.
He didn't anticipate the kiss. That's why the cue ball has ended up awkwardly on the right-hand side cushion. So the red to middle is very missable, even by the player who tops the world rankings at the moment.
Trump 41.
Well, that's the first putt he's missed for quite some time. I didn't expect it, and I'm sure Jack Lisowski didn't expect it either. Now, what can he do? Can he knock this red in? Well played. He's lost the cue ball, though. He's not on the black.
Green ball. Lisowski won.
Well, he did the right thing there in promoting the pink into open play. Green also. When you're behind, you want as many balls in the open as possible. The only thing was his safety shot wasn't the best. And that's the reward.
So close to being a really, really good shot, that. Has he got cover? Has he got cover with the blue? We need to look right down the line as he's shaping up the putt, so obviously you can see it. Yeah.
What?
And he's played it beautifully. He held for the black, and he's on it nicely.
I think he's looking very sharp indeed, Ken. In all departments, he seems hugely motivated.
8.
Yeah, I think you're right. And as good as friends as these are, I mean, they holiday together. They're always around each other at tournaments and stuff like that, but it's almost like he's being extra ruthless, which you have to be at this level. He's not letting up one iota. Very professional job so far from Judd Trump.
So very quickly again, we've arrived at frame ball.
$21.
There was one small glitch in this frame, the misread to middle on 41, but I think it's a pretty solid frame again from Trump.
Another beautifully controlled positional shot.
27.
Ah, lovely shot again.
32.
Everyone talks about Ronnie O'Sullivan being a child protege, and I can tell you from personal experience he was extraordinary. But so was Judd Trump. He won the English under-15 title when he was 10.
49.
Sometimes youngsters don't fulfill their potential.
44.
O'Sullivan and Trump most certainly have.
45.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, as well as a great champion he is, he's just his appetite for success, Phil, that keeps driving him on. And just like Ronnie O'Sullivan and Stephen Hendry before him, they just love winning, love competing, love winning, love picking up trophies, no matter where it is.
52.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think the mentality of Trump is the more he's won, the more he wants to win. He's never satisfied.
$61. So Trump 61 and
It's all the ones. 41, 61, and now it's 4-1. Jack Lisowski in deep trouble. Well, I said at the start of the last frame, Ken, it was vital for Lisowski to win that frame. I think now it's imperative for him to win this one.
Yeah, totally agree. Just to give himself, well, that little bit of breathing space. First to 6, of course, now, best of 11. So if you could get a frame on the board, just it gives him a little bit of hope and a glimmer. think he's on this red. I don't think he's got cover. This time he's missed. Now, has he got a chance? He has. Red goes into the right centre pocket, just beneath the pink. Now he needs a good pot here, get nicely on a colour. Just get his arm going. That's a beautiful shot. Very good. Top side of the blue. A little bit, even though the black is available in the both corner pockets, it's still a little bit congested around there. Not much room to manoeuvre the cue ball. Those close reds in proximity to the black in that spot. So they may have to work on pink or blue here for the time being.
Seven.
Well, he's gone straight down for the black, which means that he's trying to clear up that area by trying to play a cannon into the reds just above the black here. He'll always be on the red into the left centre, so he can play this with confidence. Oh no, too much pace and not enough application, concentration on making sure of the pot.
Going from bad to worse. You might recall we came back from the break with a couple of shots of Neil Robertson. Well, he made 141 total clearance to take a 4-1 lead over Gary Wilson.
One.
Some shocks yesterday, Ken, but today it seems the big guns are firing.
Yeah, Neil Robertson looking like he's back to some of the form that we're seeing for many years. Got him up to world number 1 and world champion.
Five.
He believes he's playing somewhere near his best, which is good to hear. But yeah, Sean Murphy, much the same. And of course, the other half of the draw, we got Wilson and Ronnie O'Sullivan. Mark Williams, of course, is still in there. For me, out of all the world champions and former current world number 1, looks in the best form so far, particularly on this display alone.
$17. 18.
Slightly overdid that one.
$24. 25.
Now there's confidence. He had the confidence to play on the single red and then to knock in a really good ball with the cue ball tight under the cushion. He break builds in an unconventional way, Ken, but boy is it effective.
Yeah. Completely unconventional to the likes of some of the other great break builders in the game, but as you say, it is very effective. He's so confident in his potting ability that it doesn't matter. He leaves the cue ball close to the cushion. Even there, for example, okay, it's come off about 8 or 9 inches, but other players would like to have that off another 3 or 4. It doesn't matter where they are. He's confident of potting them off the cushion at distance, awkward angles. He's in complete control at the moment with his game. Now, just got to try and use a little bit of side here, get on the next red. Yeah, has he overdone it? He's overdone it for this red into the left corner, but very cleverly, he's just put the cue ball in a position. If it overruns, he's always got a red into the left centre. He's giving himself options.
43.
That's part of the art of break building. Quick glance at the score, 42 points in the lead. Just another couple of reds and colours will be enough, and another frame in the bag, and of course, more importantly, another frame from victory.
57.
Trump had a very disappointing end to last season, lost 13-9 to Jack Jones in the quarter-final at the Crucible. Played very poorly, I thought, in that match by his standards. But what a bounce back. What a bounce back. He looks as good as ever.
66.
Can't tell you, Sean Murphy now leads Elliot Slessor 5-2. So Slessor 3 behind with 4 to play.
73.
Lisowski, though, is going to be 4 behind with
80.
5 to play. You don't want that against anyone, Ken, let alone Judd Trump.
Yeah, tough uphill battle for Lisowski. And it was that black, wasn't it, at the beginning of this frame when he had a chance. I didn't feel he had to go down for the black so early. He could have, played for pink and blue and got some points on the board and gone about the break in a little different way. Missed the black and, well, sat down in his chair since and just can do nothing but admire this wonderful break from his opponent.
And he won't be doing anything of a showboating nature here. Trump genuinely believes he can make 100 centuries in a season and cash in on that bonus. And I believe it too.
103.
That's century number 15 of the season, and it's only just begun.
108. 115.
The moral of that tale, don't miss blacks off the spot against the world number 1. Jack did, and he was punished. Judd Trump in total control against Jack Lisowski, leading 5-1. Trump's handed Lisowski some punishments over the years. He's whitewashed him 3 times, 4 times actually. Lisowski just needs one of those inspired bursts to put his pal under pressure. Good try, deserved better, much better.
Five.
Well, that was no shot.
Nine.
Black available into the left corner pocket, so if you can play and hold the cue ball here for that black.
10.
Just checking the spot. I think it will respot if it is potted. It's just the red to the right of it is slightly in the way. Oh no, another one. Another miss black off the spot. You can't be doing that. Getting some chances. Missed the black in the previous frame off the spot into the opposite corner. Cost them the frame.
One.
And that miss black could be very costly and might be his last shot.
I know it sounds strange with so many balls on the table, but Ken's absolutely right. When Trump's in a groove like this and a chance to win a match arises, he normally is mustered. Not happy there, though.
8. Trump 8.
The red would go, but clearly he didn't fancy it right from the get-go. But Ken, the challenge of Lisowski seems to be fizzling out.
Yeah, he's completely deflated now.
1.
The wind has been taken out of his sails. Thought when we got to 1-all, he won that good second frame. I thought, okay, we're going to have a really good match here, but Trump gone through the gears, exerted the pressure. And yeah, Jack Lisowski was those couple of missed blacks off the spotters. Well, it's probably the end for him, you would say. Very hard to come back from that. Something to work on, though. Just want some good matches here this week.
16.
It's going to be a long season. It's going to be lots of battles over the year.
17.
It's matches like this that you should really take stock of, Phil, and really learn from. See how this guy goes about his business, goes about his work, on and off the table.
24. 25.
Looks very much as though we're going to be in for a quarter-final treat tomorrow. Trump powering towards the last 8. His prospective opponent there looks like being Neil Robertson, who now leads Gary Wilson 5-1.
$33. $40. $41.
Just a little bit further than he would have liked. Just having a look. Does he play into the pink and the reds, hold for the red into the right centre? Or does he go through the gap? Playing the delicate cannon on the reds. Just lost it slightly, but he's still okay. He's always going to have that loose red, either into the right centre or the left. Once again, his potting is just incredible.
$52.
Quick glance at the scores once more. 50 points in the lead. 59 remaining. This red will be 51 ahead. 51 remaining. No problem. No problem at all. And nicely on the black as well. Frame of match ball this, Phil, and it's been a really accomplished performance from Judd Trump. Taking up where he left off in that second half of the match yesterday after being 4-0 down. He played quite superbly to come back and beat Wu Yize, but yeah,
61.
looks in very, very good form.
$66. $67.
And there is enough on for the century he craves.
$71.
Superb, as it was from Elliot Slessor, who's just won the 8th frame against Sean Murphy with 134 total clearance. Slessor's deficit 5-3.
$78. 80.
I'll tell you, he just loves making centuries, Phil, doesn't he? He's after that. He's after that 100 centuries in the season. Bonus for sure. Maybe a few other contenders as well. But at the moment, he's going to be the front runner. Looking very good.
Yes,
and of course, Trump was the opponent when Neil Robertson was the first player to make 100 centuries in a season. Robertson made that landmark turn against Trump at the Crucible. And as I said before, the rematch is very much on here tomorrow.
98.
Topping and tailing with centuries. In this snooker episode of Friends, Judd comprehensively beat Jack. It was the one where he reached the quarterfinals.
In a match that we thought could be quite a tough one to predict, in the end, Judd Trump just simply sublime again.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? You watch how he plays, you know, where does this level come from? You know, where does it stop? After yesterday's performance, you thought that, you know, he's going to have to improve today. Obviously, he came back, but you still question marks over where it's going to come from. And my goodness me, what a player.
I mean, he's won the last 11 of his last 12 frames. I mean, that's in this tournament.
With some savage scoring.
Right.
You look at the score sheet there, he's made 3 tons and a shed load of other breaks.
Judd, come on in. A very different story to the last time we spoke to you 24 hours ago. Before the mid-session interval, you were thinking, am I out of the tournament? This one, you just seem to be in full flight.
Yeah, I got off to a good start in that first room. I potted a really good ball to settle me down. I made a good century in the first, and then after that, whenever I get off to a quick start like that, I always feel so comfortable. It just really relaxes me, and I just knew I was going to play well. The table played completely different today. It was a lot what I'm used to, more what the ball wasn't spinning off in strange ways. So it was nice to just feel a lot more relaxed today.
Was there a sort of slight anxiety going into it, given what you had to try and evolve on the table yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit apprehensive to see what it was going to play like, but it was a completely different table from yesterday. I think either the cloth was brand new or the balls were brand new yesterday. It was just kind of throwing everywhere, and today it was a bit more like what I'm used to. So it's always important when you're playing top players just to get yourself into the game as quick as possible, and I think that's something that I've been really good at the past few years, just kind of stamping my authority on the game from the very first shot.
Steve, one thing we were talking about off air is the fact that it's all well and good knowing that you have an opportunity to win, but when you are Jack Lisowski and you know a miss is ultimately going to cost you the frame, that's tough.
Yeah, and that's the psychology of the game, isn't it? You know, Jack's probably, you know, he looked like he was playing quite well, Jack, to begin with, just a couple of tactical errors, and Judd was doing what he always does, and heavy scoring. It's sort of, when you're in that position and you're at the table with a chance that you maybe think on another day I'm going to take that, when you've got someone like Judd in your rear mirror, you know, you can't make those mistakes and you're thinking differently, you know, it's so tough. I mean, that was just relentless in the end.
Yeah, I think it was the third frame he had a chance, and it's not like he was missing balls at that point. He just ran out of position, played it maybe a little bit tight. He normally probably would have smacked the balls open and cleared up. He just a little bit too careful, ended up snookering himself. And I think when I'm sat in my chair, nowadays I recognise that this is a massive frame now. If someone has a chance and they don't take it and I can clear up, then it's just a body blow every single time, because I feel like I'll get in the next frame and I won't make that mistake. So I think anytime someone gets in against me, they have to clear up, or I'm going to clear up myself.
Well, that brilliantly yesterday, actually, that frame against the second against Wu to go 4-2. That was such a big frame, and I could sense just from watching you just thought, right, I've got a chance now, and you just do it, and it puts them under so much pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. And just by the way, the man with the unenviable task of playing Judd Trump in the next round will either be Neil Robertson or Gary Wilson. They're currently playing on table number 3, so let's bring you right up to date with how that's looking. So Neil Robertson's currently 5-1 up, and the score in terms of the 7th frame is 52-14. Judd, Neil Robertson looking like the Neil Robertson of old.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. I think a few people have said that they don't think he's going to get back. But he's just way too good for that to happen. So it was just a matter of time. I think he just was lacking the belief. He was looking at too many things that could go wrong, and now he's obviously had a great win against Mark Selby. I think this is the best thing that could have happened to him, playing these first few games in qualifiers against people he just scores too heavy for, and he's built his confidence up that way. So I think it was just a matter of time, and he looks somewhere near back to his best. Obviously, I think you never back to your best until you get a win under your belt, but he's somewhere near it now.
There's a little bit of a parallel with his career and yours over the last few years. You go back a couple of years, Neil Robertson in fine fettle, full flow. You go back to 2019, Judd Trump, dominating everyone, winning every tournament, it feels like. People would have said then, can he get back to that? The answer is yes. So what's changed?
I think just the game is so tough. And the difference between the players maybe in the 20 to 30 rankings is so minute, the difference. And when you're not one visiting every time like Jack today, the game just gets away with you so easy. And that's just the difference. He hasn't been making his normal breaks, or he's been a bit apprehensive with his shot selection, taking too much time and care. And people feed off that. I think when someone looks at Neil over the past 2 seasons and see him taking 30 seconds a shot, he just fills you with confidence. And now he looks like he's playing a little bit quicker now. He's not thinking about the things that can go wrong, and he's just back to making century after century.
Yeah, well explained. Thank you for that. And seeing him beat Elliot Slesser, Steve. Elliot's had a brilliant tournament, but Neil is Q action. You can watch him all day long.
Yeah, he really is one of the best in the business in that department, isn't he? And just like what Judd said, it's not that Neil's played bad, it's just that the standard is so good now, and maybe he was just lacking that little bit of confidence. But it would be no surprise to see Neil go on a run this week, but in that sort of form, this man's going to take some stopping.
And just find it, isn't it nuts how you go from 4 frames down and you're thinking you're out, so now you're probably one of the favourites, if not the favourite, to lift the trophy. Snooker can just change in an instance.
Yeah, I think at this standard, especially myself, it's such fine margins. I can go from thinking I can't pot a ball to thinking I'm never going to miss it. And in the blink of an eye, literally, one thing comes off. I think I played one good shot at 4-1 at black. The frame was over, come down, cannon the red out. Every time I win a tournament, that kind of thing happens, and I just take so much positivity from that. And I come in today probably a new man. I felt a lot more confidence, and I think that really paid off from the start today.
Judd, it's great to see. Thank you very much for your time. We'll see you in the quarterfinals. Congratulations. We'll let you give your mic over to Ali over there. I'll tell you what.